up, people? This your boy Cope coming in to drop an evening thought to consider. And it is this: what constitutes a man being a good man? I know that there's an idea or a narrative that a good man is one that provides for his family, spoils his wife, and um, basically doesn't get into any trouble. And why that is, those are good traits. Those three are basically fundamentals of what makes a man a good man. I believe that what makes a man a good man is number one, his ability to to have and be committed to a purpose. In other words, I believe that a man that does not have a life work or a life mission is in fact not a man. He may be nearing the corner of a man, but I believe that a man that has not committed and found his purpose is not a man. Second point is I believe a good man is one that can clearly articulate the vision that is on his life. In other words, what is this man planning to do with his allotted time in life? Is he just having a good time? Um, is he just all work and no play? What is he doing with his life? Does he have a direction for where his life should be going, or where he strongly feels it should be going? Does he have an unction on his life that he feels like this is why I am here? Does he have those things? Because here's the thing: if a man does not have purpose and he does not have vision, then how can he lead? As a matter of fact, where is he leading? So if there's no vision, if there's no purpose, then I would be inclined to argue that that's not a man, but that's an adolescent. And no matter the numerical age that he is, you don't become a man until you understand that there's a purpose on your life, and you should be able to speak to and articulate the vision that comes with that purpose on your life. That encompasses his financial disposition and dexterity. That encompasses his world outlook, outview. That encompasses his spiritual fortitude. All of these things are what makes a man a good man. In other words, if he can't speak to why he's here, what his plan is, and what his commitment and passion is, then again, I would argue that that is not a man, but that is an adolescent or a boy with a man's age. And a lot of times what we see is a lot of boys with a man age. In other words, those that like to just hop in the club every time the club going, every time some music's going, they going somewhere like that. But then when you ask them about what do you plan on doing next week, I don't really know. I gotta see. There's no long-term trajectory or plan for their life. And a person like that, how can a man like that lead a family? How can a man like that lead a woman? So those are two very key pieces that must be considered when you talk having a discussion or thinking about a good man. Does he have purpose, a mission for his life? Does he have vision? Is he able to articulate that? And then the third point is equally as important, and just as big. Does he exhibit discipline? And what I mean by that, I'm not talking about discipline as it means to physical punishment or timeout or different things of that nature. I am talking about, does he have a discipline where he knows when to win? Does he know when it's time to have fun? Does he know when it's time to tighten the ostriches related to his finances? Does he know when it's time to bring correction? Does he know when it's time to listen? Does he have those disciplines? Does he know when it's time to tell himself no? Does he know when it's time to assert himself? See, these are things that make a man a good man. Does he have purpose, mission, vision? Does he have discipline? Because if he does not exhibit or possess those characteristic traits, then that's not a man, honey. That's a grown boy. Massive difference. So consider those things when we're having a discussion or when you're thinking about what a man is. Don't get tricked. It's all in the behavior. This your boy Cope. Out.